Well, never in recreational cannabis. It's talking season, and a lot of people like to talk. It's already happening. Recreational prohibition has started in Thailand. It's very reefer madness, anti-cannabis, and they believe it, and they just do not like marijuana, do not like cannabis. Inspected 5,218 and 724 license suspensions, 129 license revocations, 180 prosecutions, 116 seizures of cannabis flower. Arrested 33 people smuggling marijuana out of the country. Look, okay, are there still going to be places that are open after and through all this? Yes, but yeah, so disclaimer, I went kind of dark in the video here a little bit, embarrassed that I bagged on the Thai government, after I mentioned in a previous video that that's kind of disrespectful. So I debated on whether to upload this anyway, but it is good information, and but I love Thailand. And I want to see this industry be easy and accessible, and the Thai people are entitled to regulation that they didn't get, so I'm hopeful that they get what they want, but I don't think that what's happening right now is what the Thai people want, from everyone I've talked to. And anyway, back to it. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, the Global Red. If you haven't already, throw a thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment, share on this video, help my channel grow. Going back to my roots a little bit, doing a little thing I call a walk and talk, where I basically walk and I talk on a specific subject. I am right now in Dalat, Vietnam, walking around the lake on a slightly drizzly day. Today though, we're going to be talking about Thailand. There's some updates, new updates on the cannabis. I'm going to call it a fiasco because it is, right? So the first thing to know is just to distinguish something that maybe I haven't distinguished in other videos, which is there is no new law that has been passed regarding cannabis in Thailand. The old laws still exist on the book, which allow, through codification, recreational cannabis to be sold. Businesses with licenses that were licensed by the Thai government are getting raided, inspected, and then raided. So I just have to say that, I appreciate all the comments. Let's keep them rolling. But just if you do see in the comments anyone's acting like they know that nothing's happening, nothing's going to happen, they're just talking, right? And it's talking season, for sure. So, but people saying, ha ha, it'll never be illegal in Thailand. There's never going to be any change. There's no change anywhere. Well, look, that was my experience in Ao Nang, but that's an anecdotal experience. And I made clear to hear from people what are they seeing? Because my dad was shut out in the early days from being able to get his cannabis and had to go get his prescription, just to be sure. Now he has it. So he's covered, right? But let's just say like this is a party who is a very anti-cannabis party. They are a prohibition party, and they're backed by people who believe in that, and that's the people that they believe in representing, and they are in power because a coalition crumbled on something unrelated to this. And they're taking, really, their primary initiative has been on this. So maybe all the other things they could be doing, but the one thing that they are doing is a major, substantial crackdown on cannabis. It is happening. So the news that we got a couple of days ago, or yesterday, I can't remember, is that now, this is coming from the Thai traditional and alternative medicine, right? Anything backed by the government, especially this governing party, is going to puff out their chest a little bit about what crackdowns they're doing, right? They're proud of it, and they want to make sure that whatever story they have on it gets published. And there are a lot of media outlets that really seem to be carrying water for this governing party right now. You can tell by reading, right? You can go and read the Thai Examiner, for example. I'll drop a link on it. Or you can read some Bangkok Post. And you can tell by the stories that they are, let me get in the light again. They are an opinion piece that is totally backing the government's decision, right? Very, very little is said about consumers, and how difficult it's going to be for some people to get every month, go to a doctor and get a prescription, because that's what's on the books come November 11th, one of the things. So they're definitely holding a lot of water, like I said, for the government's position on this. So you got to take it a little bit with a grain of salt. But according to Thai tradition and alternative medicine, the department, they inspected, as of August 13th, 5,218 of the country's 18,763 licensed cannabis-related businesses. And it resulted in 724 license suspensions, 129 license revocations, 180 prosecutions for unlicensed sales, and 116 seizures of cannabis flower. So, and they have arrested 33 people smuggling marijuana out of the country through the Bangkok airports, both of them. So to say that nothing is happening, nothing's going to happen is, I'm sorry, I just told you to kind of hold the horses there, but it's happening. So, you got to miss people with those comments, honestly. Like I said, I reported boots on the ground in Ao Nang that it's alive and well. The shop owners are defiant, and I don't see it going anywhere. You're going to be able to get your weed. I still see it that way, because in places where it's illegal, you can still find it. In Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, you think I was able to find marijuana? Like, it's going to happen, right? So a few things. Number one is the Thai government should have had some enforcement of their regulations that are on the books. They should have been doing that for the few years that it's been legal. So any reports of these one-off situations where a toddler came out having eaten somebody's gummies, not out of the shop, right? But they ate a gummy and ended up passing out. They survived, of course. Weed doesn't kill anybody, but that's a terrible situation, and there needs to be accountability, starting with where the kid got it from. The kid didn't go into a shop and buy it, right? So, but the Bangkok Post, one of their articles, the title of it is, I'll try and find it, but the title is, they closed down an illegal edibles shop after the situation that I told you where a child, got sick and passed out, right? They're unrelated, right? But they threw that together in the title. It's not that shop was found liable for what the child did. It's just the paper writing an article, an approved article that allows for rampant speculation. See, we're trying to keep it away from kids. There's another article about a shop that they walked into, and they had been suspended 5 times, right? But this time they go in and there's a kid smoking meth, and there's meth, the materials, and to use and make meth laying out, and he was mixing it with cough syrup and cannabis products, and somehow that's the problem of the industry and not an asinine owner, right? Somebody legitimately trying to do something illegal, right? So you will come to Thailand and you will not see any of that. That is not what's happening in these shops, right? Now, what you will see is you'll see a lot of people that, foreigners especially, that are smoking out in public on the streets. There's already laws on the books to deal with those people. The police don't need any additional authority at all, but they're using these things as a pretext for their current actions. And again, if a new government comes into power, these can be undone because there is no law on the books, but it is creating uncertainty and adversity for shop owners, tourists, and locals alike, right? Anyone who profits from or consumes in any way, right? So they come out with a decree at the end of June. And by the way, they're also wanting to make this a Class 5 narcotic. The Class 5 narcotics are in the same breath as heroin and meth. So literally reefer madness if you think that those things belong in the same category. I'm just saying. And I've said on here, you can smoke too much weed, you can be irresponsible, and you can fuck it up for everybody, and even yourself, right? That it can be harmful, and kids shouldn't touch it, and adults should use it wisely, should. But what can I say about that I can't say about alcohol or tobacco or sugar, right? So it's definitely targeting this industry. And so the government definitely wants the people to know that it's following through and doubling down, right? There may be something to stop this party, and it may come up soon where they cannot govern, they cannot get a governing majority to get anything done. They may lose power, but that doesn't change what's happening right now. So what's happening right now? Well, what you're gonna see in some of these places that have been suspended. Hello. Hey, yes. Oh, okay. Hello. Take picture? Okay. Yes, bye-bye. Bye-bye. It happens sometimes. So anyway, guys, it's more than just words on this topic, okay? So I'm gonna keep you kind of abreast of the situation as I know more about it, but right now it is a netherworld. And look, okay, will you still be able to find places? Are there still gonna be places that are open after and through all this? Yes, there are, right? But if you need a doctor on site to smoke on site, you'll get shut down like they already did way back in early July 3rd in Phuket, where they raided 8 places and closed down 2 of them because only one of them was left without a suspension, but they closed down 2 of them for smoking on site. And I mentioned in a previous video, feel free to check that out, that on-site smoking is on the block, even if it's easy still to get the cannabis legally, right? So this industry will bounce back in a way that will be better than the countries around it when it comes to cannabis. But the free-for-all, that may not last very long, right? So business and shop owners certainly, they've filed a lawsuit. Who knows where that's going to go, right? But we just can't assume that nothing's going to happen, because I'm hearing from you guys too, where some of your favorite places have closed the doors, that it's gotten a little harder to find, cannabis, that you need to go and get your prescription. They're going to shorten the list, apparently, of conditions that would qualify for medicinal use. And doctors that write prescriptions, they're going to be legally on the hook for your actions. And so a lot of people are not going to want that legal exposure, and they're going to stop prescribing it in large degree. Now, my dad, he probably doesn't have much of a problem, right? He's an older guy. He has real issues. He's not going to abuse it. But a guy like me, under in 5 or 6 months, if I'm wanting to go to Thailand and I'm wanting to smoke, then I may have a problem. Or I may have a lot of money to pay, or I may have a lot of hoops to jump through, and it could be very inconvenient. That's why I'm saying the free-for-all is, it's not going to be as free-for-all as it was, put it that way. Now, could Thailand stand to lose a few of its cannabis shops? Yes, right? You're going to lose probably about 75 or 80%, and that's the government's estimate too, and just kind of what I think as well. And then you're going to lose the ability to smoke on site at another 75% of those. So maybe 1 out of every 15 or 20 places will actually have a doctor on site. If you want to have a cannabis cafe, then that's what you're going to end up having to do. You could definitely see some places fudge it a little bit and take that risk. So it's going to span the gamut. It's a great idea to know where the weed comes from. It's a great idea to regulate what products are sold to make sure that they're compliant, right? And the laws were on the books already to do that. And so enforcing it, like this party's doing, is a little bit of egg on the face to those who legalized it and just kind of did not put money behind enforcement and resources behind enforcement and inspections. We all know that, especially in Thailand, laws are only as strong as the enforcement behind them. So, and that really goes for everywhere, but people who have been to Thailand and know Thailand well know even more so there. So, I'm going to keep you abreast of it. I'm actually going back in a couple of weeks to Chiang Mai. So I'll be going to all my favorite places and see what it's like there, see if they're all open, see what they're doing to adjust. Some places will be able to adjust and stay open. Some places the cost is going to be too great and they'll shut down. So the real loser is the consumer and the business owners, the people who put a lot of money into the business that they have and maybe can't make it. So anyway, that's just been this update. This walk and talk is going to be largely unedited, so a little different than I normally do. But we will see you in the next video. Again, if you like the content, then let me know, all right? And we'll see you in the next. Peace.